on the green shavings, and we are going to get our show started on time at 8 o'clock. We've got those Ayrshire and Guernsey spring calves lined up at the gate. Our judges are ready. Looks like our ring people are ready, so let's bring those calves into the ring. As our show is underway, we'd like to remind people, if you've got somebody at home, maybe they're home farming or they had a conflict today with something else, but they're really keen to know what's happening here in our show rings. There is a live stream for each of the rings. You can find that at ringsidelive, all one word, .co. Again, it's ringsidelive.co, and they do have a separate stream for each show ring. So if there's somebody that's not able to make it here today, you can certainly text them or call them and let them know that they can follow along with the show at ringsidelive.co. We're really pleased that we're able to offer the live stream of our dairy shows, and thank you to those people from Ringside Live that are here providing the live stream of the dairy shows. Attention dairy show exhibitors, Guernsey and Ayrshire exhibitors. Judges are making their lineups in our spring calf class. We need those winter calves in the makeup area. Guernsey and Ayrshire exhibitors, we need those winter calves in the makeup area. Over in our Guernsey show ring, Judge Paulson's completed his placing in our junior calf class, our spring calves. Placing second in the class and also second Kentucky is entry number 9, Rockhaven McDreamy Jam, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. Winning the class is entry number 7. She's also first Kentucky, entry number 7. Exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green. That's Knapp's Denzel. Bring it on. Judge, your comments on our first heifer class of the day. If you turn your attention over to our Ayrshire show ring, Judge Bender has also completed his first class of the day. Placing second in the class is entry number 1, Benter Rushmore Greta, exhibited by Noel Peters of Danville, Indiana. And winning the class is entry number 15, Sunny Acres PRA Caliber, exhibited by Colt Buckley of Lawrenceburg. Judge, your reasons on our spring calf class.
Well, good morning. Out here in our Ayrshire class today, we just have 5 beautiful heifers that find themselves to the top. But overall, this heifer leading out the class is the most balanced from end to end. She's hard top. She's deep in that rib, tracking out on a good set of feet and legs. If I'd like to pick on her anywhere, I'd maybe like to see a little more length and extension to that neck. But just a hammer heifer to start off with us today. And taking nothing away from our second place heifer, so much style, so much dairiness. We maybe like to see her hold that chine loin area down just a tick, but she blends so smoothly and tracks out on a good set of feet and legs. It is that advantage in feet and legs that gets her over this nice growthy heifer here in third. Told the young man here in third, this heifer's just cut just a little bit different than our first and second, but a lot of qualities that you like. You like the size, you like the stature and the capacity. It's her stylishness and the way that she holds herself together from shoulder into body wall that gets her over our well-grown heifer here in fourth. Heifer in fourth, probably the biggest heifer in our class. Where I'm going to pick on her today is I'd like to see her track just a little bit straighter when viewed from behind. But it's her size, her scale, and her maturity that gets us over this short age April heifer that the young man has here in fifth. Just a heifer that you appreciate the dairiness. But what a quality class to start off our Ayrshire show today. Congratulations.
We had 13 Ayrshire junior calves exhibited this morning. Congratulations again to our class winner, entry number 15. She also was first in the Kentucky competition, Sunny Acres PRA Caliber, exhibited by Colt Buckley of Lawrenceburg. Second in the class, entry number 1, Benter Rushmore Greta, exhibited by Noel Peters of Danville, Illinois. Third to entry 7, Baker's Fashion Ariel, exhibited by Casey Baker of Huntington, Indiana. Fourth in the class and second Kentucky was entry 14, Stellar Reynolds Zuma, exhibited by Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg. Fifth to entry number 12, JML Klein's Banshees Big Time, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Sixth in the class, entry number 8, Logsdon's Dynamic Sassy, exhibited by Lindsay Logsdon of Park City, Kentucky. Seventh in the class, entry number 10, Klein's Wishers What's Up, exhibited by Ivy Patterson of Shelbyville, Kentucky. Eighth in the class, entry number 2, D.D. Windhill G. Beast Butterscotch, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Ninth in the class to entry 11, D.D. Windhill Wisher Dazzle, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester. And 10th in the class to entry number 9, Clover Knoll Dynamic Anawan, exhibited by Kevin and Meadow Jeffries of Rockville, Indiana. Now entering the ring in our Ayrshire show is our winter calf class. Over in the Guernsey ring, certainly want to acknowledge the top 10 in that very fine spring calf class in the Guernsey breed. We had 11 spring calves exhibited. Once again, our winner in first Kentucky was entry number 7, Naps Denzel Bring It On, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green. Second in the class and second Kentucky was entry number 9, Rockhaven McDreamy Jam, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. Third, to entry number 6, Red Carpet Unanimously, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. Fourth in the class, to entry number 3, Rocky Hill Cadet Have Mercy, exhibited by Colton Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Fifth in the class, to entry number 5, Naps Missile Tailgater, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. Sixth to entry 11, Lazy M Missile Jasmine, exhibited by Jeremy Kinslow of Smith Grove, Kentucky. Seventh in the class went to entry number 8, CGF Java Domino, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. 8th, entry number 1, HCF Wyatt's Misty, exhibited by Callie Collette of Chuckey, Tennessee. 9th in the class to entry number 2, Colette's Wyatt Happy, also exhibited by Callie Collette of Chuckey, Tennessee. And 10th to entry number 10, Spring Hill Levi's Lily, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. In our Guernsey show, we've got our winter calves in the ring. Attention Ayrshire and Guernsey exhibitors. Our judges are making their lineups here in our winter calf class. We need those fall calves in the makeup area. Guernsey and Ayrshire exhibitors, your fall calves should be in the makeup area. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, Judge Benter's completed his placing in our winter calf class, our intermediate calves. Placing second in the class is entry number 2, Bricker Farms King Cadence, exhibited by Bailey Komar of Glasgow, Kentucky. And winning the class is entry number 16, Lywood Air Reynolds Glamour, exhibited by J.G. Springs Dairy, the Good family in Liberty, Kentucky. Judge, your thoughts on this really nice winter calf class?
Out here in our winter heifer calf class, 2 very, very nice heifers that sort themselves to the top. And I told both the young ladies, I think you could talk them either way. But for me, this white heifer wins the class just from the smooth blending of her neck into her shoulder into her body wall. She shows us a lot of spring and capacity to that rib. And she just uses her overall blending of parts to get over this very, very, very dairy heifer here in second. We love the dairiness. She shows us so much angularity from the tip of her nose to her tail. Just would maybe like to see her a little bit fuller up there in that crops region. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a very nice heifer in her own right. She uses that dairiness, that size and scale, and overall the way she tracks out on those rear 2 to get us over this nice heifer here in third. Heifer here in third, we really appreciate the strength and power in that front end of that heifer, and she uses that strength and power to get over our nice heifer here in third or in fourth. Fourth heifer over fifth, I just prefer the way that she blends from part to part, in addition to the way that she tracks out, especially when viewed from behind. Just shows me a little more width between her hocks. Heifer coming out in 5th. You really appreciate the side profile. Just would like to see her track out straighter on those rear two. But very, very nice class of December heifer calves. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our class winner in our Ayrshire Winter Calf class. Again, she's entry number 16. Also first in our Kentucky competition, Lywood Air Reynolds Glamour, exhibited by J.G. Springs Dairy and the Good family from Liberty, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 23, she was also second Kentucky, Bricker Farms King Cadence, exhibited by Bailey Comar of Glasgow, Kentucky. Third in the class, entry 19, Blackstone Wings Whisper, exhibited by Casey Baker of Huntington, Indiana. Fourth to entry 20, Stellar Dynamic Zendaya, exhibited by Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Fifth to entry number 24, Old and Lazy Persuade, exhibited by J.S.B. Akers of Hardyville, Kentucky. Sixth to entry 22, Milking Duds Reynolds Winter, exhibited by Milk and Duds Farm of Daleville, Indiana. 7th, entry 17, Stellar Ringer Zoom, exhibited by John Ford of Lebanon, Kentucky. 8th, to entry number 25, D.D. Winhill BBK Basil, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. And 9th, to entry number 21, Milk and Duds Reynolds Willie, exhibited by Milk and Duds Farm of Daleville, Indiana. Over in our Guernsey show ring, our judges completed his placing in our winter calf class. Second in the class and second Kentucky to entry number 25, Golden Pines Butter Than You, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. And winning the class and first in our Kentucky competition is entry number 21, Knapp's DR Bragging Rights, exhibited by Luke Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge Paulson, your thoughts on our winter calf class? There were 10 winter calves exhibited in our Guernsey show. Again, our winner in first Kentucky was entry number 21, Knapp's DR Bragging Rights, exhibited by Luke Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Second in the class and second Kentucky was entry 25, Golden Pines Butter Than You, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. Third, entry number 24, Red Carpet Torpedoes Away, exhibited by Jeremy Kinslow of Smith Grove, Kentucky. Fourth in the class, entry number 20, Round Pond JCPC May, exhibited by Cade Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Fifth to entry 16, Kinslow Christmas Jack and Coke, exhibited by Jeremy Kinslow of Smith Grove, Kentucky. Sixth in the class, entry 23, SC Sunny Day Torpedo Nova, exhibited by Herbie and Amanda Lutz of Chester, South Carolina. Seventh, entry number 19, Heritage Brook Vernon Truffles, exhibited by Emma Ricker of Chuckey, Tennessee. Eighth in the class, entry 15, Warwick Manor Torpedo Senorita, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. Ninth to entry 13, Stylecrest Colonel Connie, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. And 10th in the class, to entry number 12, Empire Sherlock Schuyler, exhibited by Kaylee Kokenauer of Salvisa, Kentucky. In the ring in both shows, our Guernsey and Ayrshire show, is our fall calf class. Ayrshire exhibitors, our classes now are getting a little smaller. We've got our fall calf class in the ring. We need those summer yearlings to ringside. Ayrshire exhibitors, we need your summer yearlings to ringside. Now that we're into our show and rolling along, it's really an excellent time to introduce our judges for today. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, our judge today is Ryan Benter, a native of Brownstown, Indiana. Ryan was raised on a small family dairy farm where he grew up milking and showing Holsteins, Brown Swiss, Ayrshires, and milking Shorthorns alongside his family. That shared passion for dairy cattle continues today at Benter Family Farms, where he's actively involved in breeding, raising, and exhibiting dairy cattle at the county, state, and national levels. Ryan pursued his passion for agriculture at Purdue University, earning a degree in agricultural business management while also competing as a member of the 2018 Purdue Dairy Judging Team. During his judging career, Ryan earned several notable accolades, including 6th high individual at the All-American Dairy Judging Contest, 2nd high individual in Brown Swiss, and 9th high individual in Holsteins at World Dairy Expo. 2019, he and his team also won the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo Dairy Judging Contest. Ryan has judged numerous county fairs throughout Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, and in 2024 served as a judge at both the Indiana and Kentucky State Fairs. Additionally, he has officiated at the Indiana State Dairy Judging Contest and the National FFA Dairy Judging Contest. Today, Ryan continues to support youth in agriculture as the head 4-H dairy judging coach in Jackson County and as an active 4-H volunteer, dedicating his time to mentoring the next generation of dairy enthusiasts. Over in our Guernsey show ring, our judge today is Alan Spud Paulson. He comes to the show from Rockford, Illinois, where he bases his cattle hauling business. Alan's been hauling livestock and fitting cattle from coast to coast year-round for the past 20 years. Over the years, he's judged numerous county fairs, state shows, and 12 state fairs. Highlights on the national level include Associate Brown Swiss Judge at Eastern National Show, the lead judge at World Dairy Expo for milking Shorthorns in 2015, and the Ayrshire Show in 2017. He's also served as the official of the Open Holstein and Red Mites at the 2018 North American in Louisville. Later this year, Alan will be the lead judge for the International Brown Swiss Show held at World Dairy Expo. Alan has 2 boys, Sutton and Dakota, that share his passion of showing, fitting, and hauling cattle, especially in the semi, together. Let's give our judges Alan Paulson and Ryan Bentner a warm welcome as they evaluate our shows here this morning. Ayrshire and Guernsey exhibitors, our judge are making their lineups in our fall calf class. We need those summer yearlings in the makeup area. Ayrshire and Guernsey exhibitors, your summer yearlings should be in the makeup area. Over in our Ayrshire showing, Judge Bender's completed his placing in our fall calf class. Second in the class and second in our Kentucky competition is entry number 28, Sunny Acres LL Celine, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoile, Kentucky. Winning the class and also first Kentucky is entry number 35, Lazy M Wish Away, exhibited by Bailey Colmar of Glasgow, Kentucky. Judge, your thoughts on our fall calves?
Out here in our fall heifer calf class, 3 very nice heifers that rise themselves to the top. But for me, I'm going to go with a little more correctness over the top, the rump placement, and these 2 nice heifers coming out. But this red heifer, I really appreciate the daringness she shows from end to end. Shows me a lot of spring and arch to that rib. If I'd like to change her anywhere, she does toe out just a tick in those rear 2. But looking at her from the side profile here, just a very nice heifer to start off the class. Told the young man here in second, I really prefer this heifer once she gets stuck. Not cooperating the best, but one that blends from part to part very smoothly. We appreciate the depth and openness to her rib, and it's her flatness in that rump that gets her over this heifer here in third. Heifer here in third, we love the strength, the power. A heifer that's made a little bit different than our 2 that start the class. I told the young man it's a heifer that either has to be first or third today, and I'm picking on her in that rump slope and that thorough placement. But she used her overall femininity and angularity to get us over this nice, strong, powerful heifer here in fourth. Fourth heifer over fifth just gives me so much more style, gives me more capacity, more stature. But very nice class, the senior calf Ayrshires.
Congratulations and again to our class winner and also first in our Kentucky contest, entry number 35, Lazy M Wish Away, exhibited by Bailey Colmar of Glasgow, Kentucky. Second in the class and second Kentucky was entry 28, Sunny Acres LL Celine, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoile, Kentucky. Third, entry number 34, Windcrest Burdette Gemma, exhibited by Luke Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Fourth in the class, entry number 30, Klein's Manchild's Mai Tai, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. And fifth in the class, entry number 29, Emerald Farms Sweetest Jamie, exhibited by Hannah Hatfield of Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in our Ayrshire show is our summer yearling class. Over in our Guernsey show ring, judges completed his placings in our fall calf class. Second in the class and second in the Kentucky competition is entry number 31, Round Pond JCPC Lillian, exhibited by Cade Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. First in the class and first Kentucky is entry number 28, Rock Haven DJ Momentum, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. Judge Paulson, your comments on our fall calf class. Turning your attention back to our Ayrshire show ring, our judge has completed his placing in our summer yearling class. Second in the class and second Kentucky is entry number 38, JSB Acres Alvin Cherry, exhibited by John Ford of Lebanon, Kentucky. Winning the class and first in our Kentucky competition is entry number 43, Old Bankston JC A Banshee, exhibited by Andrew Carrier of Crab Orchard, Kentucky. Judge, your thoughts on our pair of summer yearlings?
Just 2 heifers in our summer yearling class, but one that handily wins the class for me. She's more feminine from end to end, sharper and more prominent over that top. Shows us more spring arch and openness to the rib. If you'd pick on her anywhere, you'd maybe like to see her track just a little more freely on those rear legs. But taking nothing away from our heifer here in second. Told the young man I love the length from end to end on this heifer and one that could stand some competition. 2 very nice calves. Congratulations.
Now moving into our Ayrshire show ring is our spring yearling class. Over in our Guernsey show, we'll catch up with our catalog. Here in our fall calf class, there were 6 fall calves exhibited. Winning the class in First Kentucky was entry 28, Rockhaven DJ Momentum, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. Second in the class in Second Kentucky was entry 31, Round Pond JCPC Lillian, exhibited by Cade Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Third in the class, entry 32, Red Carpet My Too Late, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Fourth, entry 26, Colette's Mickey Electra, exhibited by Callie Colette of Chuckey, Tennessee. Fifth in the class, entry 29, Knapp's Torpedo High Tide, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. Sixth in the class, entry number 33, Aqua Valley Cordell Starry, exhibited by Cade Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. And seventh, entry number 30, Stylecrest Colonel Serena, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. So correct what I said. There were actually 7 fall calves exhibited in our Guernsey show. Now entering the ring for Judge Paulson is our summer yearling class over in the Guernsey show ring. Ayrshire exhibitors, our judge is making his lineup in our spring yearling class. We need those winter yearlings to ringside. Once again, Ayrshire breeders, our classes are getting a little smaller. We'll have to move those animals to the ring a little more quickly. We need your winter yearlings to the makeup area. And Guernsey exhibitors, our judge is making his lineup in our summer yearling class. We need those spring yearlings to the makeup area. Guernsey exhibitors, we need your spring yearlings to the makeup area. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, Judge Bentner has completed his placing in our spring yearling class. Second in the class and first in our Kentucky competition is entry number 49, Blackstone RMG SW Wetzel, exhibited by Ryland Pike of Hardyville, Kentucky. And winning the class is entry number 44, Klein's Players Rose, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Congratulations. Judge, your comments on our spring yearling class.
Here in our Ayrshire spring yearling class, 2 heifers that kind of gave me a fit on the placing. I went ahead and used the young man's heifer here, just a heifer that you love the dairiness. She's so balanced from end to end. And if I had to pick on her anywhere, yes, I would like to see her track a tick straighter, breaking my pattern just a little bit. But in every other area, I prefer her over this heifer here in second. This heifer here in second's a nice heifer in her own right. So strong and powerful in that front end. Carries that strength all the way through. And she uses that size, scale, and overall strength to get over this very nice heifer here in third. Heifer here in third, you appreciate the dairiness, the levelness of rump. You maybe like to see her track out just a tick straighter, but we really appreciate her for that depth and that openness, especially in that rear rib over this angular heifer coming out here in fourth. Heifer fourth over fifth, she just gives me a little more width from end to end. Little taller at the point of the withers, and she uses that to get over this very dairy heifer here in fifth. Fifth over sixth, it's her dairiness. If I could mix these two between dairiness and strength, you know, the young ladies have a pretty nice heifer, but very, very, very nice class of junior yearlings. Congratulations.
If you turn your attention over to our Guernsey show ring, Judge Paulson has completed his placing in our summer yearling class. Judge, your comments on our summer yearlings. Congratulations again to the winner of our summer yearling class in the Guernsey show. Also first in Kentucky competition, entry 46, Pond and Pines Cadet Melody, exhibited by Colt Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Second in the class and second Kentucky is entry number 43, Highgern View Torpedo Naomi, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Third in the class, entry number 38, Round Pond JCPC Laura, exhibited by Colton and Cade Huffman and Hayden Oliver of Scottsville, Kentucky. Fourth in the class, entry number 36, MMD Attitude, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. Fifth, entry 48, Kentucky Blue Torpedo Toyota, exhibited by Ostrader and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Sixth to entry 40, MMHVD Unbreakable, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. Seventh to entry number 45, CGF Torpedo Duchess, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. And eighth in the class, to entry number 37, Stylecrest Colonel Claudia, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in our Guernsey show is our spring yearling class. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, we'll catch up on our catalog. If you're marking your catalogs with us, in our spring yearling class, there were 6 spring yearlings exhibited. Our winner was entry number 44, Klein's Players Rose, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Second in the class and first Kentucky was entry number 49, Blackstone RMG SW Wetzel, exhibited by Ryland Pike of Hardyville, Kentucky. Third in the class and second in our Kentucky competition was entry 46, Stellar Dynamic Snapple, exhibited by Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Fourth in the class, entry 47, Lily Bud Jade Queso, exhibited by Lily Roadcap of Simpsonville, Kentucky. Fifth in the class, entry number 52, Lily Bud Jade Fancy, exhibited by Grant Roadcap of Simpsonville, Kentucky. And sixth in the class, entry number 45, Lily Bud Jade Star, exhibited by Chelsea Watts of Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. Now in our Ayrshire ring, we're exhibiting our winter yearlings. And once again, we'd like to remind people if there's somebody at home or somewhere across the country that's interested in seeing what's happening in our breed shows here, open dairy shows here, Kentucky State Fair. They are being live streamed on ringsidelive.co, and there is a separate feed for each show ring. So if you've got a breed enthusiast that couldn't be with us here today, they can go online to ringsidelive.co and watch the show along with us. Ayrshire Show exhibitors, our judges sorting through his lineup in our winter yearling class. We need those fall yearlings to the makeup area. Ayrshire Show exhibitors, we need your fall yearlings to the makeup area. Following that, we'll be selecting our junior champion. So if you were first or second in a heifer class here this morning in our Ayrshire Show, we need those animals headed to ringside as well. And Guernsey Show exhibitors. Our judge is also working his lineup in our spring yearling class. We need those winter yearlings in the makeup area. Guernsey Show exhibitors, your winter yearlings should be on deck. Judge Bennett has completed his placing in our winter yearling class over in our Ayrshire show ring. Second in the class is entry number 58, Klein's Dee Dee's Dream, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Winning the class and also first in our Kentucky competition is entry number 63, Grandview Calamero Astray, exhibited by Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your reasons on our class.
Very close placing at the top of the class today, but the young lady starting out the class, her heifer just gives me a little more length and extension in that neck, a little sharper over those withers, and just maybe a touch more spring in the top of the rib there. Taking nothing away from our strong, powerful, straight-lined heifer here in second. Just one that you really admire for her levelness from end to end, and if she could be a tick derrier up there and have a little more neck, I think we could talk her over the first place. But she uses that power and straightness of lines to get over this really dairy heifer here in third. Heifer in third, she's going to use her dairiness and overall femininity to get over this heifer here in fourth. Heifer here in fourth, due in October. I told the young man, just kind of a problem heifer for me in the class. We appreciate the capacity. Just would like to see her track out a little bit straighter, but it's her strength and capacity that gets her over this nice tall mate heifer in fifth. Heifer in fifth, one that I bumped up there at the end. We appreciate the length from end to end, and just what got her above that other heifer was just she's a little bit cleaner up there all the way through. But very nice class of winter yearlings. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We had 7 winter yearlings exhibited in our Ayrshire show. Our winner was entry number 63, also first in our Kentucky competition, Grandview Calamario Astray, exhibited by Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 58, Klein's DD's Dream, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Third in the class, entry 65, Lazy M Auto B My Maria, exhibited by Brocker Bodarov of Seymour, Indiana. Fourth, second Kentucky, to entry number 64, SML Strike a Brawl, exhibited by Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Fifth, to entry number 61, Old and Lazy Wild Heart, exhibited by Adeline Holt of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Sixth in the class, entry number 56, Happy Acres Jamaica Hannah, exhibited by Hannah Hatfield of Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. And seventh, to entry number 59, Grandview Reynolds Recoup, exhibited by Kevin and Maida Jeffries of Rockville, Indiana. Talk here over in our Guernsey show ring. Judge Paulson's completed his placing in our spring yearling class. Second in the class and first Kentucky is entry number 57, Golden Pines Missile Butter Blast, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. And winning the class is entry number 50, Hidden Lane Tsunami Press, exhibited by Callie Collette of Chuckey, Tennessee. Judge, your comments on our spring yearlings. Congratulations to our class winner in the Guernsey show in our spring yearling class is entry number 50, Hidden Lane Tsunami Press, exhibited by Callie Collette of Chuckey, Tennessee. Second in the class and first Kentucky is entry number 57, Golden Pines Missile Butter Blast, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Third and second in the Kentucky competition to entry 51, Naps Drone Tippy, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. Fourth in the class to entry 54, Round Pond JCPC Lady, exhibited by Colton and Cade Huffman and Hayden Oliver of Scottsville, Kentucky. Fifth to entry 53, TC Ultra Design, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. Sixth, entry number 49, Naps Drone Fancy, exhibited by Molly Shoemaker of Salvisa, Kentucky. Seventh in the class, to entry 58, Naps Indian D Ice Cream, exhibited by Haley Tucker of Lexington, Kentucky. And eighth in the class, to entry number 56, Naps Drone Treat, exhibited by Kate Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Now entering our ring in the Guernsey show is our winter yearling class. Guernsey Show exhibitors, this is a smaller class than what we've had. Please have your fall yearlings in the makeup area. Guernsey Show exhibitors, we need your fall yearlings in the makeup area. And Ayrshire Show exhibitors, our judge is working through his lineup of fall yearlings. We'll be moving into selection of junior champion next. So if your heifer was first or second in our classes here this morning, they should be at ringside. Over in our Guernsey Show ring, Judge Paulson's completed his placing in our winter yearling class. Second in the class and first in our Kentucky competition is entry number 65, Knapp's Missile Trick Shot, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. And winning the class is entry number 61, Knapp's RC Torpedo Bala, exhibited by Herbie and Amanda Lutz of Chester, South Carolina. Congratulations. Judge, your thoughts on our winter yearlings? Congratulations to our winner of our winter yearling class in the Guernsey Show, entry number 61, Knapp's RC Torpedo Bala, exhibit by Herbie and Amanda Lutz of Chester, South Carolina. Second and first Kentucky was entry 65, Knapp's Missile Trick Shot, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Third and second Kentucky was entry 64, Rockhaven J.D. Motive, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. And fourth in the class, entry number 59, Knapp's A.P. Bashful, exhibited by Melissa McGuire of Orlando, Kentucky. Guernsey Show exhibitors, our fall yearlings are in the ring. That means next up is our selection of junior champion. If you were first or second in your heifer class this morning, those animals should be in the makeup area. Once again, Jersey Show exhibitors, our fall yearlings are in the ring. We'll be looking for those first and second place animals for junior champion. They should be ringside. Over in our Ayrshire show, Judge Bentner has completed his placings in our fall yearling class. Judge? Congratulations to our winner of the fall yearling class in our Ayrshire show. There were 6 fall yearlings exhibited. Our winner was entry number 71, Baker's Fashion Dice, exhibited by Casey Baker of Huntington, Indiana. Second in the class and first Kentucky was entry number 73, Twin County Bad and Bougie, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Third in the class and second Kentucky was entry number 67, Brufy Air Kent Piper, exhibited by Alyssa Chambers of Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. Fourth in the class, entry number 69, Misty Meadows Reynolds Kylie, exhibited by Brocker Boderoff of Seymour, Indiana. Fifth to entry 66, Still Dreamin' Chaos Stephanie, exhibited by Alyssa Chambers of Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. And sixth in the class, to entry number 70, Grandview Dynamic Phoebe, exhibited by Kevin and Meta Jeffries of Rockville, Indiana. Now entering in the Ayrshire show ring are those animals competing for the title of Junior Champion. And over in our Guernsey show ring, Judge Paulson's completed his placing in our fall yearling class. Second in the class and second Kentucky is entry number 71, CGF Java Piper, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. Winning the class and first Kentucky is entry 69, Empire Lone Star Morgan Stark, exhibited by Kate Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Alan, your thoughts on our fall yearlings? There were 4 Guernsey Fall yearlings exhibited, and congratulations again to our winner and first Kentucky, entry number 69, Empire Lone Star Morgan Stark, exhibited by Kate Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Second in the class and second Kentucky was entry 71, CGF Java Piper, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. Third in the class, entry number 70, Four Winds VG Take a Chance, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. And fourth in the class, entry 67, Monsieur's Eltimer Pumpkin, exhibited by Kaylee Prather of Taylorsville, Kentucky. And now over in the Guernsey show ring, we'll also be seeing those animals competing for Junior Champion. In our Ayrshire show ring, we certainly want to acknowledge those animals in the running for our Junior Champion title. They were first or second in their classes here, heifer classes here this morning. There were 13 spring calves. Our winning entry was number 15, Sunny Acres PRA Caliber, exhibited by Colt Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Second in the class went to entry number 1, Benter Rushmore Greta, exhibited by Noel Peters of Danville, Indiana. There were 9 winter calves exhibited. Our winner was entry number 16, Lywood Air Reynolds Glamour, exhibited by J.J. Springs Dairy of Liberty, Kentucky. Second in that class was entry number 23, Bricker Farms King Cadence, exhibited by Bailey Comar of Glasgow, Kentucky. There were 5 fall calves. Our winner was entry 35, Lazy M Wish Away, exhibited by Bailey Komar of Glasgow, Kentucky. Second in that class, entry number 28, Sunny Acres LL Celine, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. We had 2 summer yearlings exhibited. Our winner was entry number 43, Old Bankston JC A Banshee, exhibited by Andrew Carrier of Crab Orchard, Kentucky. Second in the class was number 38, JSB Acres Alvin Cherry, exhibited by John Ford of Lebanon, Kentucky. We had 6 spring yearlings presented. Our winner was entry 44, Klein's Players Rose, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. And second in the class, entry number 49, Blackstone RMG SW Wetzel, exhibited by Ryland Pike of Hardyville, Kentucky. There were 7 winter yearlings. Our winner was entry 63, Grandview Calamaro Astray, exhibited by Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. And second in the class, entry number 58, Klein's DD's Dream, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. And there were 6 fall yearlings. Our winner was entry number 71, Baker's Fashion Dice, exhibited by Casey Baker of Huntington, Indiana. Second in the class, entry number 73, Twin County Bad and Bougie, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Congratulations to our Ayrshire exhibitors. What a beautiful heifer show we've had here this morning for Judge Bentner. Ayrshire Show exhibitors, following our selection of junior champion, will be moving into our junior best 3 class. If you have a group for junior best 3, please have those animals and I believe your registration papers at ringside. Over in our Guernsey show ring, we also want to acknowledge those animals that placed first or second in our show today. Another beautiful heifer show over in the Guernsey show ring. There were 11 spring calves exhibited, and our winner was entry number 7, Naps Denzel Bring It On, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 9, Rockhaven McDreamy Jam, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. There were 10 winter calves. Our winner was entry 21, Naps DR Bragging Rights, exhibited by Luke Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 25, Golden Pines Butter Than You, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. We saw 7 fall calves. First place was entry 28, Rockhaven DJ Momentum, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 31, Round Pond JCPC Lillian, exhibited by Kate Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. There were 8 summer yearlings. Class winner was entry 46, Pond and Pines Cadet Melody, exhibited by Colt Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 43, High Gern View Torpedo Naomi, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. There were 8 spring yearlings. Our class winner was entry 50, Hidden Lane Tsunami Press, exhibited by Callie Collette of Chucky, Tennessee. Second to entry number 57, Golden Pines Missile Butter Blast, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. We saw 4 winter yearlings. Our class winner was entry number 61, Naps RC Torpedo Bala, exhibited by Herbie and Amanda Lutz of Chester, South Carolina. Second in the class, entry number 65, Naps Missile Trick Shot, exhibited by Kennedy Waddell of Bowling Green, Kentucky. And there were 4 fall yearlings. Our class winner was number 69, Empire Lone Star Morgan Stark, exhibited by Cade Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. And second in that class, entry number 71, CGF Java Piper, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. Congratulations also to our Guernsey show exhibitors, a beautiful lineup of Guernsey heifers here today in front of Judge Paulson.
Go ahead and give all our Ayrshire heifer exhibitors a round of applause, please. We've had tremendous quality from the start of the day to the end, and we had to send some quality heifers to the rail there, and I know for sure we sent some quality ones back to the barn. But for me today, I pulled out 6 heifers, and sorry to be like Noah on the ark, but we went 2 by 2 in 3 different classes. But for me, these are the kind of heifers that I try and pick out for our family to show. They're high style. They're walking on good set of feet and legs. Have a nice balance of dairiness to strength. And for me, these 6 heifers just exemplify that. I'll go out and I'll get you a junior champion, a reserve junior champion, and an honorable mention. For me, it's never mattered the make, size, or model. I just want to pick out the heifer that kind of puts the parts together for me the most. And we started off the day with this March calf, and it's very fitting for her to go on to be junior champion. Just a heifer that has so much dairiness from end to end, the balance, the depth, the levelness. Just a heifer that you can't deny our junior champion today. Taking nothing away from our nice made winter calf, one that I really love. I think she's the perfect balance of your dairiness to strength. Just get a little more style out of our junior calf today. And then I'm going to go ahead and use our senior yearling as our reserve. When they get to this age and stage and they look this nice, we can't do nothing but appreciate them. And I think she follows our 2 very well. But if you guys don't mind, let's go ahead and give them one more big round of applause. Thank you.
Congratulations to the junior champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show. She's our winning spring calf, entry number 15, Sunny Acres PRA Caliber, exhibited by Colt Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Our reserve junior champion was our winning winter calf, entry number 16, Lywood Air Reynolds Glamour, exhibited by J.G. Springs Dairy of Liberty, Kentucky. And our honorable mention junior champion is entry number 71, our winning fall yearling, Baker's Fashion Dice, exhibited by Casey Baker of Huntington, Indiana. Our junior champion and our reserve junior champion will also be champions in our Kentucky Proud competition. So congratulations to our winners. Ayrshire exhibitors, we're looking for our junior best 3 groups. Congratulations to the junior champion of the 2025 Kentucky State Fair Guernsey Show. She's our winning winter calf, entry number 21, Knapp's DR Bragging Rights, exhibited by Luke Buckley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Our reserve junior champion was our winning fall calf, entry number 28, Rockhaven DJ Momentum, exhibited by Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. And honorable mention junior champion and our winning fall yearling, entry number 69, Empire Lone Star Morgan Stark, exhibited by Kate Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Our junior champion and reserve junior champion are also our champion and reserve champion of our Kentucky Proud competition. So congratulations to the winners and all of their rosettes. We'll turn over to our Ayrshire show ring, where Judge Benter has completed his placing in our junior best 3 females class. Second in the class, entry number 79, the entry from Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. And our winning entry is entry number 71, the winning group from Casey Baker in Huntington, Indiana. Judge, your comments on our junior best 3 class.
Here in our junior best 3 class, 2 very, very uniform groups that both exhibitors should be very proud of. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the group to my left. We've got the honorable mention junior champion, 3rd place March calf, 2 heifers that were pulled out, and another heifer that placed pretty well in her class today. Taking nothing away from this group to my right, I told them it's a very uniform group. You know, when we're exhibiting as my family, you know, to have a group that's this uniform and kind of unique in their pattern, they should be very proud of that, and you know, well deserving to take 2nd place here. Congratulations.
Congratulations again to those junior best 3 exhibitors in our Ayrshire show. Now over in our Ayrshire show, we're moving right into our dry cow class. Ayrshire exhibitors, we've got a couple of dry cows, and then we're going to move right into our milking cow classes with our junior 2-year-olds. And over in our Guernsey show ring, our judge has completed his placing in our junior best 3 class. Judge, your comments on our junior best 3 group. So. Congratulations to our Guernsey show exhibitors. Winning our junior best 3 females class was the group from Lucas Hayes of Broadhead, Kentucky. Second to our group from Tyler Smith. Third to our group from Stylecrest, Kevin Brandstetter in Edmonton, Kentucky. And 4th in the class was the group from Callie Collette of Chuckey, Tennessee. Now over in the Guernsey show, we're moving into our milking cow classes with our junior 2-year-olds. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, our judges completed his placings in our dry cow class. Second in the class is entry number 104, Smither Appletini Meany, exhibited by Kalia Clark of Lebanon, Kentucky. And winning the class and first in our Kentucky competition is entry number 85, Klein's Reagan's Ruby, exhibited by Hannah Hatfield of Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. Judge?
Just 2 cows here in our dry cow class. I'm going to go with the more mature 4-year-old. She's just straighter in her lines. She's harder over that top. Really appreciate that width that she carries all the way through, and is just carrying a little bit of less condition for me today than this nice 2-year-old the young lady brings out. A lot of things to like about this 2-year-old, tracking around the ring for the young lady pretty well, and just 2 cows we'd probably like to see in milk, but well deserving of a blue and red ribbon today. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Now we'll be moving into our junior 2-year-old cow class over in the Ayrshire ring. Ayrshire and Guernsey exhibitors. Our young cow classes are not real large, not very big, so we're going to ask our Ayrshire and Guernsey exhibitors, if you're exhibiting a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, let's please bring all of those cows here to the makeup ring, help our show move along efficiently. Guernsey and Ayrshire exhibitors, if you're exhibiting a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, let's have those cows come up to ringside and be ready to move through our show. Over in our Guernsey show ring, Judge Paulson's completed his placing in our junior 2-year-old cow class. Second in the class and second in our Kentucky competition is entry number 74, CGF Carver Loretta, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. Winning the class and also first Kentucky is entry 105, Lakeview Farm Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Alan, your thoughts on our junior 2-year-old class? There were 3 junior 2-year-olds presented here this morning. Once again, winning the class was entry number 105, and she was also first Kentucky Lakeview Farm Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Second in the class, and second Kentucky was entry number 74, CGF Carver Loretta, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. And third in the class, entry number 75, Berryman Farm Drone Versace, exhibited by Tyler Berryman of Nicholasville, Kentucky. Now in the ring in our Guernsey show is our senior 2-year-old class. Judges completed his placing in our senior 2-year-old class over in the Guernsey show ring. Second in the class and second Kentucky is entry number 79, G.R. Hickman Valley's TB Kahuna, exhibited by Kate Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. And winning the class, also first in our Kentucky Proud competition, is entry number 77, Stylecrest Colonel Select, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge Paulson, your comments on our senior 2-year-olds. Congratulations again to our senior 2-year-olds. Now entering the ring in the Guernsey show is our junior 3-year-old class. Once again, Guernsey and Ayrshire exhibitors, we ask you to bring up all of your 2 and I guess now 3-year-olds to the ring. Our cow classes are not real big, so we'll be cycling through them relatively quickly. We've got 2 very efficient judges here this morning. Once again, we need all of your young cows up to ringside. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, Judge Bentner has completed his placing in our junior 2-year-old cow class. Second in the class, entry number 93, Klein's Manchild's Maggie, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. And winning the class, and also first in our Kentucky Proud competition, is entry number 89, Lazy M, Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your thoughts on our junior 2-year-old.
Out here starting off our cow show. I know we're in the AC, but the heat's definitely turned up here. This cow just wins the class very handily for me. 16 days fresh. Dairy is all get out. You get behind her. She's high. She's wide. Shows enough definition of seam and shows a lot of chrome to that mammary system, as well as tracking out on a good set of feet and legs. Taking nothing away from our second place cow here, one that you really appreciate for her strength and capacity all the way through. But for me today, second goes over third, just in the definition of the seam and that rear udder, and maybe just a tick more balance from quarter to quarter. But very nice cow coming out here in third today. You appreciate the dairiness this cow has from end to end, and it's that four udder attachment or overall side profile that gets us over a nice frame cow in fourth. Cow in fourth, we just like to see a little more turn and burn to that rear udder, as well as definition of seam to place any higher. But very, very nice cows to start off our show today. Congratulations.
There were 6 junior 2-year-olds presented in our Ayrshire show this morning. Winning the class in First Kentucky was entry 89, Lazy M, Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Second in the class was entry number 93, Klein's Manchild's Maggie, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Third in the class and second Kentucky was entry number 91, Bajan Vale Distinction Courtney, exhibited by Elmore, Stump, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Fourth in the class, entry number 97, Grandview Viking Diva, exhibited by Ryland Pike of Hardyville, Kentucky. Fifth in the class, entry number 94, Still Dreamin' Player Jenga, exhibited by Alyssa Chambers of Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. And sixth in the class, entry number 95, D.D. Winhill Reynolds Braley, exhibited by John Ford of Lebanon, Kentucky. Now in the ring in our Ayrshire show is our senior 2-year-old class. And again in our Ayrshire ring, Judge Bentner's completed his placing in our senior 2-year-old cow class. Second in the class and second Kentucky Proud is entry number 102, Palmyra, Jamaica R.R. Ginger, exhibited by Lily Roadcap of Simpsonville, Kentucky. And winning the class and first in our Kentucky Proud competition is entry 103, Spring Run Blue Boy Charming, exhibited by Caleb Lips of Shelbyville, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your comments on our senior 2-year-olds.
Just 2 cows in our senior 2-year-old class, and this cow that I'm starting with just can't be denied champion. She's higher in that rear udder, wider, shows more bloom and venation throughout her mammary system, harder over her top, and just gives me so much more capacity and openness to that rib today. Taking nothing away from our long cow here in second. Just one that we'd like to see just a little more cage, just a little more mammary system, and maybe change up that teat size and placement just to get her above our very, very nice 2-year-old. Congratulations.
Now in the Ayrshire show ring, we'll be moving into our junior 3-year-old cow class. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, over in our Guernsey show ring, our judges completed his placing in our junior 3-year-old cow class. Second in the class is entry number 83, Drone Addy, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. And winning the class is entry number 47. She's also first in our Kentucky Proud competition, Knapp's Loverboy Offshore, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your thoughts on our junior 3-year-olds? If you turn your attention over to our Ayrshire show ring, our judges completed his placing also in our junior 3-year-old class. Judge Bentner?
Two beautiful junior 3-year-old cows coming out for me today, and I told the young men here that you could probably place them either way, but for part for part, blending from end to end, I'm going to go ahead and use this younger, more youthful cow. Just appreciate the way that she holds herself together out there on the move. Probably a little more flatter in that rump for me today. Just gives me a little more height at the top of the rear rudder as well as width. Taking nothing away from this strong, powerful cow here in second. You really appreciate how deep she is in that heart. Maybe just a tick too much capacity in the mammary system for me today to get around our youthful cow. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a very good cow in her own right. But she uses her strength and her overall bloom to her mammary system to get over this first calf, junior 3-year-old. One that you do admire for her dariness from end to end. Put on a nice sporty udder for the young lady, but just too much cow to get around on our top two today. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the winner in our Ayrshire show ring in our junior 3-year-old class, entry number 110, Margot Caramel, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Second in the class and first Kentucky Proud was entry number 90, Audie's Charlie Amy, exhibited by Jeremy Kinslow of Smith Grove, Kentucky. And third in the class was entry number 108. She was second Kentucky Proud, D.D. Windhill Dynamic Blossom, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in our Ayrshire show is our senior 3-year-old class. Over in our Guernsey show ring, we'll catch up with our catalog. There were 3 junior 3-year-olds exhibited. Our winning entry in first Kentucky was entry 47, Knapp's Loverboy Offshore, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 83, Drone Addy, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. And third in the class and second Kentucky Proud was entry 82, Fisher's JCP Prestige, exhibited by Colton Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in our Guernsey show is our senior 3-year-old class. Guernsey show and Ayrshire show exhibitors. Following this class in the ring, we'll be moving into our selection of intermediate champion. If you were first or second with your 2-year-old or 3-year-old here this morning, we need those cows at ringside. Once again, we'll be moving into our selection of an intermediate champion in both breeds. Over in our Guernsey show ring, judges completed his placings in our senior 3-year-old class. Winning the class second in the class and second Kentucky owned is entry number 85, Rocky Hill Farm Drone Lucille, exhibited by Lutz and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. And winning the class and also first in our Kentucky owned competition is entry number 86, Dairyman Craig 5141 Definitido, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. Judge, your comments on our senior 3-year-old. We had 3 senior 3-year-olds exhibited here today. Once again, our winner in first Kentucky was entry number 86, Dairyman Craig 5141 Definitido, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. Second in the class and second Kentucky owned was entry 85, Rocky Hill Farm Drone Lucille, exhibited by Lutz and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. And third in the class, entry number 88, Langrest Drone Marshmallow, exhibited by Melissa McGuire of Orlando, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in our Guernsey show are those cows competing for intermediate champion. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, judges completed his placings in our senior 3-year-old class. Second in the class and first Kentucky owned is entry number 112, JSB Acres Watch Me Shine, exhibited by JSB Acres of Hardyville, Kentucky. And winning the class is entry number 113, Don Haven Melios Twilight, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Sprang. Congratulations. Judge, your thoughts on our senior 3-year-old class.
Out here in our senior 3-year-old class, just one cow that comes into the ring and just cannot be denied. She's so dairy from end to end. A lot of spring arch and openness to that rib, prominent throughout. We get to the mammary system. She's got so much chrome and venation throughout the udder. The definition of the seam, the width of the udder, the way she handles. Just a beautiful, beautiful cow to win the class today. Taking nothing away from our cow here in second. We love the capacity to the mammary system, the definition of the seam. And it is that definition of seam and capacity of the mammary system that gets her over this nice frame cow here in third. Cow here in third has been milking for quite a while, the young man said. But a lot of things you like about this cow. You really appreciate that fore-udder attachment. Maybe just like to see her a little more fresh with another calf. But 3 very nice cows. Congratulations.
Once again, there were 3 senior 3-year-olds presented in front of Judge Bentner this morning. Our class winner was entry number 113, Don Haven Melios Twilight, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Sprang, Atoll, Kentucky. Second in the class and first Kentucky owned is entry number 112, JSB Acres, exhibited by JSB Acres Watch Me Shine, Hardyville, from JSB Acres in Hardyville, Kentucky. And third in the class and second Kentucky owned was entry number 111, Glamour View's Beth Dutton, exhibited by Elmore Stump, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in our Ayrshire show is also our selection for intermediate champion. In our Guernsey show ring, we'd like to recognize those cows that are competing for intermediate champion. They were all first or second in our 2- and 3-year-old classes here this morning. There were 3 junior 2-year-olds exhibited. Our winner was entry 105, Lakeview Farm Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Second in the class was entry number 74, CGF Carver Loretta, exhibited by Tyler Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. There were 2 senior 2-year-olds. Our winner was entry number 77, Style Crest Colonel Select, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. Second in that class was entry number 79, G.R. Hickman Valley's TB Kahuna, exhibited by Cade Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. There were 3 junior 3-year-olds. Our class winner was entry number 47, Knapp's Loverboy Offshore, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. Second in that class, entry number 83, M.M. Drone Addy, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. And in our just completed senior 3-year-old class, our winner was entry number 86, Dairyman Craig 5141, Definido, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry number 85, Rocky Hill Farm Drone Lucille, exhibited by Lutz and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Congratulations to all of our Guernsey exhibitors. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, we're also bringing in those animals that are competing for intermediate champion. We are looking for our second place senior 2-year-old, Lily Roadcap. If you're bringing your cow to the ring, she needs to be here pronto. Those cows are entering the ring at this time, competing for intermediate champion. We also want to introduce these cows to you, reintroduce these cows to you that are competing for intermediate champion in the Ayrshire show. There were 6 junior 2-year-olds exhibited. Our class winner was entry number 89, Lazy M, Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Second junior 2-year-old was entry number 93, Klein's Manchild's Maggie, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. There were 2 senior 2-year-olds. Our winner was entry 103, Spring Run Blue Boy Charming, exhibited by Caleb Lips of Shelbyville, Kentucky. Second in that class was entry number 102, Palmyra, Jamaica RR Ginger, exhibited by Lily Roadcap of Simpsonville, Kentucky. We saw 3 junior 3-year-olds. Our class winner was entry 110, Margot Caramel, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Second in the class, entry number 90, Audie's Charlie Amy, exhibited by Jeremy Kinslow of Smiths Grove, Kentucky. And we had 3 senior 3-year-olds exhibited. Our winner was entry number 113, Don Haven Melios Twilight, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Spring of Etoll, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry 112, JSB Acres Watch Me Shine, exhibited by JSB Acres of Hardyville, Kentucky. Again, congratulations to our Ayrshire exhibitors on a lovely young cow show. Ayrshire and Guernsey Show exhibitors, our judges are making their final polls here. Final lineups here in our selection for intermediate champion. We are going to move right into our 4-year-olds following this. Our senior cow classes are not large for either breed. We'd like to ask you at this time if you're showing a 4-year-old, 5-year-old or aged cow, let's please have those cows, or production cow, let's have those cows to the makeup area at this time. Ayrshire and Guernsey exhibitors, if you're showing in our senior cow classes, those classes are not large. We're going to ask you to bring those cows to ringside at this time. Over in our Guernsey show ring, Judge Paulson's pulled out his final 3 and in contention for intermediate champion. Alan, we're interested in your thoughts and selection of our intermediate champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Guernsey show. Congratulations to the intermediate champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Guernsey show. She's our winning junior 2-year-old, entry number 105, Lakeview Farm Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Our reserve intermediate champion was our winning junior 3-year-old, entry number 47, Knapp's Loverboy Offshore, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. An honorable mention intermediate champion was second to her in that junior 3-year-old class, entry number 83, MM Drone Addy, exhibited by Matthew Mannery of Milan, Indiana. Our intermediate champion and reserve intermediate champion will also be our champions of our Kentucky-owned competition. So congratulations to our intermediate champions, dual winners in our competitions here today. Turning your attention to our Ayrshire show ring, Judge Brandner has pulled out his final 4 here in contention for intermediate champion. Judge, your thoughts and your selection of intermediate champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show.
Well, out here for our intermediate champion, I pulled out 4 cows, and if somebody asked me what good Ayrshire young cows look like, I'd try and paint them a picture of these cows. Beautiful uddered cows, very beautiful in their frame, walking out on a good set of feet and legs, and I'll go get you an intermediate champion, a reserve, and honorable mention. For me, it's pretty close today, but this summer, Junior 2 can stand some heat. Just 16 days fresh, so dairy, so high and wide in that rear udder. Nice definition of seam, and she's just well deserving to be your intermediate champion today. Taking nothing away from our beautiful frame senior 3-year-old that also has a nice memory system on her as well. But for me today, the summer junior 2 is going to take the cake, and then we're going to use our first place junior 3-year-old as your honorable mention. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our intermediate champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show. She's our winning junior 2-year-old, entry number 89, Lazy M Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. Our reserve intermediate champion was our winning senior 3-year-old, entry number 113, Don Haven Melios Twilight, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Spring of Atoll, Kentucky. And our honor mention intermediate champion was our winning junior 3-year-old, entry number 110, Margot Caramel, exhibited by Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. Congratulations. Over in our Guernsey show ring, we're now having our 4-year-olds enter the ring. Once again, Guernsey show exhibitors, we'd ask you to have all of your senior cows to ringside at this time. Our classes are small. Guernsey show exhibitors, we need your 5-year-old age cow and production cows to ringside. Over in our Guernsey show ring, our judges completed his placing in our 4-year-old cow class. Placing second in the class, second in Kentucky-owned competition, is entry 96, Naps Api Tesla, exhibited by Osterritter and Gibson. She wins our production award with 20,055 pounds of milk. Winning the class and also first Kentucky owned is entry 60, Dairyman Renegade 4873 Belty, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your thoughts on our pair of 4-year-olds? Congratulations again to our 4-year-old Guernseys. Our class winner was entry number 60, Dairyman Renegade 4873 Belty, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. And second in the class, entry 96, Naps API Tesla, exhibited by Ostrider and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in the Guernsey show is our 5-year-old class. Over in our Ayrshire show, I believe we're still finishing up with our champion and reserve champion in our Kentucky owned competition.
Out here for your reserve Kentucky owned. I think this is a special thing that the state of Kentucky does, you know, because such as the prestige fair that you guys have, we have people from surrounding states that come in. And but for me today, we're not going to deny the second place junior 3-year-old as your reserve Kentucky grand, with an honorable mention to our young man right here. Very, very nice cows, and congratulations.
Congratulations. Once again, our intermediate champion was our champion Kentucky own, our first place junior 2-year-old, entry number 89, Lazy M Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Atoll, Kentucky. And now our reserve Kentucky champion was our second place junior 3-year-old, entry number 90, Audie's Charlie Amy, exhibited by Jeremy Kinslow of Smiths Grove, Kentucky. Congratulations. Now entering the ring in our Ayrshire show will be our 4-year-old class. Ayrshire exhibitors. Our senior cow classes are also quite small. We'd ask you to please bring your, obviously, 4-year-olds. Please have your 5-year-old and age cows to ringside at this time. Very small numbers to complete our show here in our senior cow classes. We'd ask for all of those cows to be at ringside. Over in our Guernsey show ring, our judges completed his placing in our 5-year-old cow class. Second in the class and second Kentucky owned is entry 98, Cooley Crest Reputation Diana, exhibited by Colton Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. And winning the class, also first Kentucky owned, is entry 87, Naps Drone Diamond Ring, exhibited by Nap Genetics of Atoll, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your comments on our 5-year-old class. Congratulations again to the winner of our 5-year-old cow class in the Guernsey breed, entry 87, Napstrone Diamond Ring, exhibited by Nap Genetics of Atoll, Kentucky. Second in the class, entry 98, Cooley Crest Reputation Diana, exhibited by Colton Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. And third to entry 111, Style Crest Mentor Swan, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. Now in the ring, in our Guernsey show ring, is our age cow class. Over in our Guernsey show ring, judges completed his placing in our age cow class. Placing second in the class, also second Kentucky owned, and winning the production award with 19,004 pounds of milk is entry number 106, Style Crest Chief Sophia, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. And winning the class, also first Kentucky owned, is entry number 102, Style Crest Mentor Chandler, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. Judge, your thoughts on our age cows? Over in our Guernsey show ring, we'll now be bringing those cows in that were first or second in our senior cow classes and competing for the title of senior champion of our Guernsey show. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, Judge Bentner's completed his placing in our 4-year-old cow class. Second in the class and first Kentucky owned is entry number 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. She's also a production award winner with 16,519 pounds of milk and 588 pounds of fat. And winning the class is entry number 127, True Blessings Blackjack Phoebe, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Sprang of Etoll, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your reasons on our 4-year-old class.
4 beautiful 4-year-olds out here for me today, but the young lady that's going to start out the class, just one that you prefer out and about on the move. She blends a little bit more smoothly from that neck into that shoulder into the body wall. Super sharp and prominent across that top, and we get behind her. She's just got more width to that mammary system, nice definition of seam, and just tracks out very well. Taking nothing away from this second place 4-year-old. Told the young lady leading her out, what I would say is she's the most youthful cow in this class, but that's also probably hurting her against our class winner. But one that you really, really admire, that fore-udder attachment. Got a lot of quality of that rear udder and could stand a lot of competition. But it's that fore-udder and her overall strength over the top that gets her over this nice, well-uddered cow here in third. Told the young man in third, just like to harden her up over to the top and give her just a little bit more spring and arch to that fore rib to compete with our other two. But it's the capacity, bloom, and quality of the mammary system that gets us over this well-grown 4th-placed animal. 4th-place animal, you love the length and extension from end to end. Just would like to see a little more definition to that seam and width of the rear udder to place any higher today. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the winner of our Ayrshire 4-year-old class, entry number 127, True Blessings Blackjack Phoebe, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Sprang of Etoll, Kentucky. Second in the class and first Kentucky owned is entry number 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. She's also our production award winner. Third in the class and second Kentucky owned is entry number 120, Kentucky Blue W.H. Salem, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. And fourth in the class, entry number 128, D.D. Windhill Kingsire Buttermilk, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Now entering the ring in our Ayrshire show is our age cow class. Over in our Guernsey show ring, we've got cows circling the ring that are competing for a title of senior champion. They were first or second in our older cow classes here this morning. We certainly want to recognize them. Our winning 4-year-old was entry number 60, Dairyman Renegade 4873 Belty, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Second place 4-year-old was entry number 96, Naps Api Tesla, exhibited by Ostrader and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. In our 5-year-old class, we had 3 5-year-olds presented. Our winner was entry number 87, Naps Drone Diamond Ring, exhibited by Nap Genetics of Epworth, Iowa. Second in the class was entry number 98, Cooley Crest Reputation Diana, exhibited by Colton Huffman of Summershade, Kentucky. And in our age cow class, our winner was entry number 102, Stylecrest Mentor Chandler, exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. Second in that class was entry number 106, Stylecrest Chief Sophia, also exhibited by Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky. Looks like our judge has his final lineup here in selection for senior champion. So Alan, let us know your comments on your senior champion and selection of that champion cow. Congratulations to our senior champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Guernsey Show. She's our winning 4-year-old, entry number 60, Dairyman Renegade 4873 Beltier, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Our reserve senior champion was our second place 4-year-old, entry number 96, Naps API Tesla, exhibited by Ostrader and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. And our honorable mention senior champion was our winning 5-year-old, entry number 87, Napstrone Diamond Ring, exhibited by Nap Genetics of Epworth, Iowa. Congratulations. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, our judges completed as placing in our age cow class. Placing second in the class is entry number 133. She's also second Kentucky-owned, Double D Farm Burdette Bell, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. And winning the class, also first Kentucky-owned, is entry number 132, Stillmore Dreamer Maisie, also exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your comments on our pair of age cows.
Two beautiful age cows here. I'm going to go ahead and start with the 9-year-old to win the class today. Just gives me a little more, I prefer her forerunner attachment. And then I also prefer that strength and width that she takes all the way through her hooks, pins, and the way that she tracks out for age. Taking nothing away from this beautiful frame cow coming out here in second. She's 11 years old, has a nice youthful mammary system for her age. Just would like to see maybe a little more width to that front end and definition to that seam to get around our first place age cow. But two very nice cows. Congratulations.
At this time, we'll be bringing in our senior cows contending for senior champion in our Ayrshire show. Over in the Guernsey show ring, we'd like to congratulate our Kentucky-owned senior champions. Our Kentucky-owned senior champion winner is entry number 96, who's our second place 4-year-old, Naps API Tesla, exhibited by Ostrader and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. And our reserve senior champion, Kentucky-owned cow, and our reserve champion, senior champion, Kentucky-owned animal was our second place 5-year-old, Cooley Crest Reputation Diana, exhibited by Colton Huffman of Summershade. Congratulations. Now over in our Ayrshire show ring, we certainly want to reintroduce those cows that are competing for senior champion. Our winning 4-year-old was entry number 127, True Blessings Blackjack Phoebe, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Spring of Etoll, Kentucky. Second 4-year-old was entry 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore Muse and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Our winning age cow was entry number 132, Stillmore Dreamer Maisie, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. And second age cow was entry number 133, Double D Farm Burdette Bell, also exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Looks like our judge has them lined up and he's got the microphone in his hand. So Judge Bentner, we're very excited to hear your selection of senior champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show.
Just 4 cows in our senior champion show, but 4 cows that are very beautifully made. They've aged well. As I continue to age, I hope I age as well as these cows have. We've got the 2 4-year-olds that I really admired in class, and you know, these 2 age cows, they've stood the test of time, put on good mammary systems and good feet and legs. I'll go ahead and give you a champion, a reserve, and honorable mention. taking nothing away from our age cows, but these two 4-year-olds are pretty special in my opinion. The hard tops, the quality of the mammary systems, those rear udders are pretty special, and they track out on good set of feet and legs. It's just hard for me to deny them your champion in reserve. Taking nothing away from our two age cows. Like I said, they're very beautiful in their own right, and you guys should be very proud to bring them out into the ring. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our senior champion. She's our winning 4-year-old, entry number 127, True Blessings Blackjack Phoebe, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse and Jay and Christy Ackley and Jim and Valerie Spring of Etoll, Kentucky. Our reserve senior champion was second to her in that 4-year-old class, entry number 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. And our honorable mention senior champion was our winning age cow, entry number 132, Stillmore Dreamer Maisie, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations. In our Kentucky-owned competition, our Kentucky-owned champion will be our second place 4-year-old, our reserve senior champion in the open show, entry number 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. And our reserve senior champion Kentucky own will be our winning in age cow, entry number 132, Stillmore Dreamer Maisie, exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations. And over in our Guernsey show, our judges pulled out his contenders for grand champion of our show. We'd like to once again introduce those cows that are competing. Our intermediate champion was our winning junior 2-year-old, entry number 105, Lakeview Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Our reserve intermediate champion was our winning junior 3-year-old, entry number 47, Naps Loverboy Offshore, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. Our senior champions were from our 4-year-old class. Our senior champion was entry number 60, Dairyman Renegade 4873 Belty, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. And second to her in that 4-year-old class is our reserve senior champion, was entry number 96, Naps Api Tesla, exhibited by Osterrider and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Judge, you've got your final four out there in front of you. Our selection for a grand champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Guernsey Show. Congratulations to the grand champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Guernsey Show. She's our intermediate champion, our winning junior 2-year-old, and now grand champion, entry number 105, Lakeview Farm Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Our reserve grand champion was our reserve intermediate champion, our winning junior 3-year-old, entry number 47, Naps Lover Boy Offshore, exhibited by Caleb and Shelby Fisher of Scottsville, Kentucky. And our honorable mention grand champion was our senior champion and winning 4-year-old, entry number 60, Dairyman Renegade 4873 Belty, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Congratulations. We'd like to congratulate our Kentucky-owned champions as well. Our Kentucky-owned champion was our grand champion cow, our winning 2-year-old, junior 2-year-old, entry number 105, Lakeview Farm Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. And our reserve grand in Kentucky-owned was entry number 96. She was our second place 4-year-old, Naps Api Tesla, exhibited by Osterrider and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Congratulations. Over in our Ayrshire show ring, we'll now also be moving into our selection of grand champion. We certainly want to introduce those cows, those 4 cows that'll be in contention out in the middle of the ring for our selection of grand champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show. Our intermediate champion was our winning junior 2-year-old, entry number 89, Lazy M Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Our reserve intermediate champion was our winning senior 3-year-old, entry number 113, Don Haven Melios Twilight, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Sprang of Etoll, Kentucky. Our senior champions were our pair of 4-year-olds. Our senior champion was entry number 127, True Blessings Blackjack Phoebe, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Sprang of Etoll, Kentucky. And our reserve senior champion was our second place 4-year-old, entry 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Congratulations, a small but beautiful Ayrshire cow show here today. Judge, when you're ready, we'd love to hear your thoughts on your cows out in front of you and your selection of grand champion of our show.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give all our Ayrshire exhibitors a round of applause. We've got the cows out here that have won intermediate and senior champions, and you know, I've got the job to go ahead and pick you a champion, but I'm very happy with the cows and heifers that you guys have brought me today. As far as state fairs go, I feel like Kentucky's about second to none. There is such thing as what's called Southern hospitality, and I really appreciate you guys having me out to judge your show today. But let's go pick you a grand champion and a reserve. For me today, it's very, very, very close between our 4-year-old and our just fresh summer junior 2-year-old. But the 4-year-old, in my opinion, wins it on the maturity, the strength of the attachments, the hardness of top, and she just shows me more capacity to that barrel and rib cage today. taking nothing away from this summer junior 2-year-old, I think this cow is pretty good. She maybe just needs a little more time to compete with our 4-year-old. And to me, the 2 4-year-olds were pretty close in class. It's only right to give our second place 4-year-old our honorable mention spot. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the grand champion of our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show. She's our winning 4-year-old, our senior champion, and now our grand champion, entry number 127, True Blessings Blackjack Phoebe, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Sprang of Etoll, Kentucky. Our reserve grand champion was our winning junior 2-year-old. She was our intermediate champion. Entry number 89, Lazy M, Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. And our honorable mention grand champion was our second place 4-year-old. She was our reserve senior champion, entry number 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. In our Kentucky-owned competition, our grand champion was our reserve grand champion, our junior 2-year-old. Again, that's Lazy M, Don't Strike Me Out, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. And our reserve grand champion, Kentucky-owned cow, will be our second place 4-year-old, our reserve senior and honorable mention grand cow, entry number 121, Shocking Burdette All In, exhibited by Elmore, Muse, and Gibson of Eminence, Kentucky. Congratulations. Over in our Guernsey show ring, we've got our exhibitors herd class in the ring. Congratulations to the group from Style Crest, Kevin Brandstetter of Edmonton, Kentucky, winning our exhibitor herd class. Judge, your comments on this group. This time we're moving in the Ayrshire show, we're moving into our group classes. We've also got some special awards we'll be announcing throughout here. We'd like to announce our Herdsmanship Award winner. Congratulations to JSB Acres. They'll be our Herdsmanship Award winner for our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show. Over in our Ayrshire ring, we're also moving into our group classes. And we have one entry in our dairy herd group. Congratulations to Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky with her winning dairy herd. Judge, your thoughts on our entry?
Just one dairy herd, and maybe not everybody's favorite class, but for me, I always appreciate when people bring out these herds. You know, milking cows, whether it's for a living or as a hobby, is not an easy task. And for them to bring out this herd today, again, beautiful, beautiful cows, and then we bring a heifer, you know, well deserving of that blue ribbon. And then again, thank you for bringing them out. Congratulations.
Over in our Guernsey show ring, we've got one entry here in our best three females class, and winning the class from Style Crest, Kevin Brandstetter in Edmonton, Kentucky. That's our winner in our best three females class. Judge? Over in the Ayrshire show ring in our dam and daughter class, we've got 2 pair out here for dam and daughter. Second in the class to John Ford of Lebanon, Kentucky. And winning the class is entry 146, our dam and daughter pairing from Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your comments on our pair of dam and daughters out there.
Starting out our class today, we're going to use our second place age cow and this real cute March heifer calf. To me, they're a little more uniform in their pattern. It's what I'd call the old apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Taking nothing away from our second place. I really appreciate the frame on that cow and just a March heifer calf that needs some more time. But 2 very, very good entries. Congratulations.
Over in our Guernsey show ring, we've got 1 entry out there in our produce of dam class, and that'll be the winning entry from Stylecrest and Kevin Brandt.
No. Tyler, Nicholasville, Kentucky.
In our produce of dam class, our winning group is from Tyler Smith. Pardon me on that, my bookkeeping. Judge, your comments on our produce of dam. While we're bringing in some of our groups here in the Ayrshire show ring, we've got special announcements. Of course, we'd like to announce the winner of our Premier Breeder and Premier Exhibitor banners in the Ayrshire show. This year, winning the Premier Breeder banner in our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show. Congratulations to Brian Klein of Milton, Indiana. They'll be the Premier Breeder. Our Premier Exhibitor banner will go home with Jesse and Kylie Muse of Etoll, Kentucky. Congratulations to Jesse and Kylie Muse. Once again, they're the premier exhibitor of our Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire show. Over in the Guernsey show ring, in our dam and daughter class, we've got a dam and daughter, 2 pairs of dam and daughters, both from Kevin Brandstetter, Stylecrest Guernseys in Edmonton, Kentucky. Judge, your comments on our pair of winners here in our dam and daughter class. Congratulations again to Kevin Brandstetter, Stylecrest Guernseys, placing first and second in our dam and daughter class in the Guernsey show. Over in our Ayrshire show, we've got our placing complete in our best 3 females class. Second in the class, to entry 147, our best 3 females from Bobby Elliott of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. And winning our best 3 females class is entry 148, our best 3 group from Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations. Judge, your comments on our class.
Yeah, we had a few cows pull out here, but the group of the cows over here is going to win for me today. They're beautiful made. They're in milk. Taking nothing away from this nice uniform group, heifer group here. Well deserving of a second. You guys should be very proud. Congratulations.
And over here in our Ayrshire show, I believe it's our last group class of the day. Congratulations. We got a pair of Produce of Dam groups out here, both exhibited by Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky. So congratulations to Christy and the crew. They are both first and second in our Produce of Dam class. Judge, your comments on our class.
Just two in Produce a Dam, but again, I'm very proud of these two exhibitors out here. You know, like I said, whether you milk cows for a living or as a hobby, when you have these nice animals, there's no reason why not to bring them out for this class today. But two very good groups. But I'm going to go with the younger cow and medium-age heifer, and then use the March and the older cow as your reserve. Two very good groups. Congratulations.
Congratulations again to Christy Daly of Winchester, Kentucky, placing first and second in our Ayrshire show in our Produce of Dam class. I believe that's a wrap for our 2025 Kentucky State Fair Ayrshire